Did you know that emotional deprivation can have a profound effect on an infant's development? In the earliest stages of life, infants are like sponges, soaking up every bit of information from their surroundings. This is the time when they are learning about the world, about themselves, and about their place in it. And a crucial part of this learning process is emotional interaction. Emotional deprivation, quite simply, is when a child doesn't receive enough emotional and affective attention. It's not just about the absence of affection, it's about the absence of responses to a child's emotional needs, the lack of engagement in their world, and the lack of validation of their feelings. This might seem like an abstract concept, but its effects are concrete and far-reaching. It's like a silent storm, every bit as powerful as a physical one, but its damage is not immediately visible. Instead, it quietly chips away at the foundation of a child's development, potentially leading to a host of long-term issues. One of the most critical aspects affected is brain development. The brain is a remarkable organ, especially in its infancy. It grows and evolves rapidly, and emotional interactions play a significant role in this process. When a child experiences emotional deprivation, their brain development can be seriously compromised. Bonding is another crucial area impacted by emotional deprivation. The bond between a child and their caregiver is one of the most important relationships in their life. This bond is nurtured through emotional interaction, and without it, the relationship suffers, and so does the child. Then there's the long-term psychological well-being to consider. Emotional deprivation in infancy can lead to a range of psychological issues later in life, from anxiety and depression to difficulties with social interactions and forming relationships. The stakes are high, and the effects of emotional deprivation are serious and far-reaching. But the good news is, understanding is the first step towards prevention. By understanding the impact of emotional deprivation, we can take steps to prevent it and ensure that every child has the emotional nourishment they need to thrive. Understanding the impact of emotional deprivation is the first step towards preventing it. So, what exactly happens when an infant is emotionally deprived? Let's delve into the science behind this phenomenon and understand it in a simple, digestible way. When we talk about emotional deprivation in infants, we're referring to a lack of emotional attention and affection from their primary caregivers. This deficit can happen due to various reasons such as neglect, abuse, or even parental depression. But what does this lack mean for the baby's development? Research shows that emotional deprivation can affect three critical aspects: brain development, bonding, and long-term psychological well-being. First, let's talk about brain development. The first few years of life are a time of rapid brain growth, with the brain reaching about 80% of its adult size by the age of 2. During this period, emotional interactions and experiences play a crucial role in shaping the brain's architecture. Emotional deprivation can inhibit this growth, affecting cognitive functions like learning, memory, and emotional regulation. Secondly, emotional deprivation impacts the bonding process. The bond formed between a caregiver and an infant is not just a matter of affection, it's a survival mechanism. This bond, known as attachment, is a vital part of the child's emotional development. If a child is emotionally deprived, they may struggle to form secure attachment relationships, leading to difficulties in social interactions later in life. Lastly, emotional deprivation can have long-term effects on psychological well-being. Studies have shown that children who have experienced emotional deprivation are more likely to develop mental health issues such as depression, anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorder later in life. As we can see, the repercussions of emotional deprivation are profound. It's not just about the immediate discomfort or distress of the child, it's about the long-term impact on their development and mental health. The science is clear. Emotional deprivation can have lasting effects on a child's development. How does this translate to real-life situations, you may ask? Well, let's take a journey into the everyday lives of children affected by emotional deprivation. Imagine a toddler, we'll call him John. John is often left alone in his crib, his cries for attention met with silence. He learns that his needs won't be met and that he is alone in this world. As he grows older, John struggles to form relationships. He finds it hard to trust others, fearing they'll leave him just like his needs were left unattended in his crib. Let's consider another scenario. Meet Lucy, a bright-eyed 5-year-old. Lucy's parents are physically present but emotionally absent. They provide for her basic needs but fail to give her the emotional support she craves. Lucy learns that her feelings aren't important. This belief follows her into adulthood, leading to difficulties in expressing her emotions and a tendency to suppress her feelings. Now, these are just hypothetical situations, but they are not far from reality for many children around the world. Emotional deprivation can manifest in various ways. In real life, from difficulty forming meaningful relationships to struggles with self-expression and emotional regulation. So, what are the signs of emotional deprivation to look out for? Children who experience emotional deprivation may seem detached or unresponsive. They may struggle to form close relationships or have difficulty managing their emotions. These children may also exhibit developmental delays, have low self-esteem, or show signs of depression or anxiety. Remember, these signs aren't definitive proof of emotional deprivation, but they can be red flags. If you notice any of these signs, it's essential to seek professional help. A child psychologist or pediatrician can provide further insight and guide you on the best course of action. Spotting the signs of emotional deprivation early on can make a world of difference. It's about building a world where every child is heard, every emotion is acknowledged, and every need is met. It's about raising emotionally healthy individuals who can create meaningful connections and lead fulfilling lives. Now that we understand the problem, how can we prevent emotional deprivation? It's a question that's on many minds, isn't it? Well, the good news is there are steps we can take to ensure the emotional well-being of infants. Firstly, the power of touch cannot be overstated. Physical contact, such as holding, cuddling, and skin-to-skin contact, is essential in the first few months of life. This kind of touch stimulates brain development and fosters a sense of safety and security. Secondly, responsive parenting is key. When a baby cries, it's their way of communicating a need. Promptly responding to these cries helps the infant learn that they can trust their caregiver to meet their needs. This trust forms the basis of secure attachment, which is crucial for emotional well-being. Thirdly, talking to your infant is vital. Even though they can't understand the words yet, the sound of your voice is comforting and familiar. It also helps in language development. Now, it's not just parents who have a role to play. Professionals such as pediatricians, child psychologists, and early childhood educators can also help prevent emotional deprivation. They can provide guidance and support to parents and caregivers, helping them understand the importance of emotional nurturing and how to provide it. Community initiatives such as parent support groups and early intervention programs can also be beneficial. These initiatives provide a platform for parents to share experiences, learn from each other, and gain access to resources that can help them in their parenting journey. But what if emotional deprivation has already taken place? Well, that's where intervention comes in. Therapeutic intervention can help mitigate the effects of emotional deprivation. This can include play therapy, family therapy, and individual therapy for the child when they're older. These therapies aim to repair the emotional damage caused by deprivation and help the child build healthy relationships. It's important to remember that every child is unique, and what works for one might not work for another. So it's crucial to be patient, understanding, and flexible in your approach. Prevention is key, but intervention can also help mitigate the effects of emotional deprivation. Let's not forget, it's never too late to make a difference. So, how powerful is emotional nurturing for an infant's development? Picture the human mind as a garden. In its early stages, it's fertile, teeming with potential, waiting for the right seeds to be sown. Emotional nurturing is the sun, the water, and the nutrients that feed this garden, allowing it to flourish. Without it, the garden remains barren, the potential untapped. In the context of a child's development, emotional nurturing is critical. It's the act of providing love, warmth, and emotional security. It's the process of affirming a child's feelings and experiences, validating them and helping them navigate the complexities of the world around them. Children who experience consistent emotional nurturing tend to develop a secure attachment style. They feel safe and comfortable expressing their feelings and needs, confident that their caregivers will respond in a supportive manner. This secure attachment lays a solid foundation for the development of social skills, emotional intelligence, and the ability to form healthy relationships later in life. On the other hand, children who are emotionally deprived may struggle with forming secure attachments. They may have difficulty understanding and expressing their emotions, leading to challenges in their social interactions and relationships. Emotional nurturing also plays a significant role in a child's cognitive development. A supportive and emotionally nurturing environment stimulates the brain, promoting the growth of neural connections. This boost in brain development can lead to enhanced learning capabilities, better problem-solving skills, and improved attention span. Moreover, emotional nurturing can act as a buffer against stress. Children who have emotionally responsive caregivers are better equipped to manage stress and adversity. They develop resilience, the capacity to bounce back from difficulties and challenges, a vital skill that will serve them well throughout life. In essence, emotional nurturing is like a safety net, a protective layer that shields children from the harsh realities of the world while providing them with the tools to navigate it. It's not just about providing for a child's physical needs, it's about nourishing their emotional world, enriching their experiences, and empowering them to grow into emotionally intelligent, resilient, and well-adjusted individuals. Emotional nurturing is a powerful tool in fostering healthy development in children.